Undeterred by rejection from the Air Force because of his phenomenally poor eyesight, it's true, Jar built his own high-fidelity fighter jet simulator. After acquiring a real Hornet windshield in 2003, Jar made the obvious decision to build a full-size F-18 cockpit in his garage. I mean, look at the skilled workmanship, just tremendous. 20 years later, he's still hard at work on his dream of being the best fighter pilot the world has ever seen. Believe me. Let's check in on Jar and see what he's up to today.
Hey everybody, this is a video to fill you in on what's been going on. There's been no Plat videos for a couple of weeks now. That's because the Oculus headset has some software called MetaLink, and they updated the headset software, and since they did that it hasn't been connecting properly, and I've been in contact with Meta support trying to get it fixed, but I believe it's a software that's in the headset itself, I believe. There's a lot of people having the issues. Some people can get theirs fixed okay, but I haven't managed to do that. And I've been emailing Meta back and forth, and they've been really good, sending fix ideas, and then they asked for crash logs. So I sent them the crash logs. So hopefully that helps with whatever fix needs to happen. I've been looking at virtual desktop because I know that Curveball and Doogie use virtual desktop with a wireless connection. So that looks like it would work. I think I need to get a new router. My router's about 12 years old. But yeah, so that's where that's at. That's why I haven't been flying. So my friend Towbie has been putting out some videos lately, which I thought I would just mention. They're really good. He's got a great YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it. I'm going to get it wrong. It's basically veterans from US Navy or the military that play DCS. And he does a lot of really good videos where he talks about, because he was a Hornet engineer, airframe mechanic or whatever it is over there. And he puts a lot of really good videos where he describes the systems, really deep in the weeds stuff, and it's really cool. And he seems like a really good guy. I don't really know him personally, but I like watching his videos. Oh, there's another podcast too, High Alpha Hooligans. I really enjoy High Alpha Hooligans. I listen to all their podcasts as well. They're really good guys. But yeah, so anyway, I thought I'd talk about, so what do you do when your VR headset's not working? Well, there is a new combat movie coming. It's called, I won't tell you what it's called. I think the title's very funny, so I don't want to spoil that. But it should be out in a couple of weeks. So I'm working really hard finishing that. And this I've been working on for, I hate to say, it's at least 7 years. This is a model of the USS Abraham Lincoln. So today we finally got to the point where I could airbrush all around the edge details. I'll put a video up, but you'll see that there's this stuff called photo etch. It's basically like brass etch. I'm not even sure how they make it, but it's incredibly fine detail, and you have to glue it on the edges. And so all of the, I've learned a lot about the ship from doing this because I never served in the US Navy, but having built this, one thing you find is that the ships get modified a lot and they get new weapons and things put on them. So this is not 100% accurate to any period of time, but basically I've just pick the things that I think look cool, and obviously I'm concentrating on making the LSO platform look cool. And I've also cut my losses here and there. So the netting, so if you fall overboard, you know, these nets should catch you. They're incredibly intricate and hard to do. So I haven't really done them all on this side because you won't really see this side of the model. So I've just left the stuff that came on the kit, which is basically some molded deck nets, which don't really look that great. But I've done this side because this is the side you see, and this is where the meatball is. So yeah, obviously I'll have some video showing the airbrushing going on. It's kind of soothing. So yeah, modeling, it's pretty nerdy, but it does take your mind off things. So yeah, my number one thing to do when DCS ain't working would be to build a model because it's cool. The other thing would be to go to the movies. So last night I saw the new Mission Impossible, The Last Reckoning, I think it's called. It's the one where there is a submarine, and if you saw the first one, there's a submarine that got hacked by a virus from the US military, and the AI became the entity and took over the world. And the last movie ended with Tom Cruise, or Ethan Hunt, getting both keys that he needed to access the submarine, which is, you know, laying on the floor in the under the Arctic ice cap. It's really, really cool. So this movie picks up, I think it's a month later from that movie, and it's just awesome. If you're into any of the stuff that I like, there is aircraft carriers. There's at one point Tom Cruise is wearing one of these hats for the George W. Bush because he's on that carrier, and which is really good because I pretty much wear this everywhere. And so I was able to turn to Dragon Slayer Jane and, you know, see, Tom's wearing the same daggy hat that you pick on me for wearing. So that was really cool. And they mentioned the SOSUS network, the sound surveillance system. That gets a mention, and if you've watched Stinger's Space Force, you'll see that SOSUS gets a big mention in that. So yeah, it was just really cool. And the tone of it was fantastic. There's, you know, I don't like seeing movies where the hero gets captured and then tortured and it goes on and it's really gruesome. So yeah, there was a scene where it looked like it was going to go that way, but then it was really, really cool. Sorry, that's just the airbrush compressor kicking in. So yeah, so it was awesome. I highly recommend you go see it. You might have seen in the trailers, Tom's hanging off a biplane and they're flying around Africa, low and that scene is just so epic. It's so cool. But the stuff with the submarines, I mean, oh wow, it's just there's a shot. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a shot where. So he ends up on an Ohio-class submarine. You'll see in the trailer he jumps out the back of a V-22. So it's similar to Hunt for Red October, where Jack Ryan ends up dropping out of the helicopter and getting picked up by the sub. So yeah, that happens to Tom, but it's a lot more cooler with Tom. It's just incredible. I'm trying not to spoil it, but yeah. But then there's some SEALs on board, and there's a lot of strong female characters in this, which sometimes is done poorly, but I think it's done really good in this. So. Obviously, the President of the United States is a female, and the captain of the, actually, no, she's not the captain, she's the admiral. I think she might be the commander of the air group, is a lady, and she's really good. But on the submarine, there is a SEAL team, and there is one of the SEALs is a female, but she's very similar to Vasquez. So it was like a throwback to Aliens in a way. So yeah, it was really, really cool. So it was done very well. All the characters were likable and good, so there was none of that kind of stuff getting forced onto you that's annoying so often in modern Hollywood. Yeah, but there's shots from the submarine that are just incredible. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to tell you about it, but not spoil it. But yeah, the whole stuff on the submarine was just brilliant. So yeah, go see it if you like US Navy stuff. The other thing that I used to do when DCS wasn't working, or just like I wanted to talk to Towbie about it. He's kind of hard to get. Well, I'm not on Discord, and that's one of the things, I guess. Towbie, I mean, yeah, any kind of online community or social media, and I sort of see Discord as social media, which is why I'm not on there. And you know, I've been doing online gaming, flight sims, nerdy squadrons for. Let me just turn that compressor off real quick. Yeah, since about 1999 was when I started flying Jane's F-18. We're in Hyper Lobby, and I joined a squadron called the Top Hatters, and that's where I met Bosco back then. And yeah, there's a lot of, I've been in a few squadrons since then, VNAO, a few others I won't mention. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff goes on in the community, and it has, especially in the last couple of years, Discord, and everyone's a lot more connected, which is great. But yeah, I think there's a certain social media aspect to it that I don't really enjoy that much, you know what I mean? So I kind of like just hanging out with these guys. I know them, I've known them for years, and I know I can trust them, and I know that they've got the best interests of the squadron at heart, and I don't have a lot of time to be sorting out people issues and, you know, having bad experiences with people. That's not really how I want to be spending my time nowadays. So yeah, Towbie, I mean, if you're having a rough time of it, I'm happy to catch up and have a chat to you, bro. But my advice would be, I guess, don't expect too much out of the community, and don't invest too much into the social media side of it. I don't know, that's my opinion. I think if you distance yourself a little bit, it's kind of a bit easier going, and I enjoy it a lot more like that. So yeah, and the other thing I would do when DCS wasn't working, or you know, I felt like doing something else, but I'm a little bit old for it now, and I have a big plate in my shoulder from it, which has kind of killed the enthusiasm for it. I was doing downhill mountain biking, and yeah, I got pretty good at it. I think I rode for a couple of years, but you know, there was some bad days, which I'll show you a clip.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a stupid crash. Yeah. No, everything's good, I think. Oh. Sorry, just winded. Oh man, sorry, I just can't breathe. I landed right on that rock.
So not my finest hour. It was a lot of fun, but I'm happy to sort of do more relaxed things now. So now we do free diving. Yeah, we live in a warm climate, so we're able to go diving fairly regularly. But yeah, so I mean, apart from doing things with your partner, if you have one, that's always great too. But yeah, those are the things. I think it's important to have things. I think especially if you're trying to run a group like you are, Towbie, you kind of, if you find yourself not at your computer, or not online, and then you're away from it, and you find yourself stewing over things that somebody has said, or some comment that somebody left you on the YouTube, if that's playing over in your mind, living rent-free in your head, as people say, I'd say that's a really big sign that you need to step back, because it's not the whole world. You're not gonna, I don't think anyone's gonna become a full-time professional YouTuber for flight sims. Maybe some are, but that's not really why I do it. We don't monetize our videos anymore. We did have a Patreon a few years ago, but I shut all that down. I literally put movies up now just for my personal enjoyment. So that's why the comedy movies are so daggy. They're literally what I think's funny. And yeah, if anyone else enjoys them, which there's some people do, that's good enough for me. As long as some people get a laugh, that's what I enjoy. Nothing makes me happier than when someone says that they got a laugh, or if they quote a line back to me. I mean, that's magical, you know what I mean? So yeah, I used to play in a band, so I was in a live music band, and we were okay. But I mean, most of the time you got your friends coming to see you, so you're kind of leaning on all your friends and family to fill out the audience, and that's a lot of work, and it's similar to the flight sim stuff. It's the same personal dynamics. You're trying to organize people, and everyone has their own idea of how things should go, what you should be doing. So you got to have that balance of, like, you don't want to shut people down and not make them feel validated, but some people just keep wanting to change everything too much, so it makes a lot of work for you and causes you a lot of grief. So yeah, it's a fine balance, but there is a lot of rewarding and great people out there. I mean, these guys, each and every one of these guys has just been I can't even tell you what a good friend. And honestly, probably I would consider them to be people that are more important to me than, friends I went to school with or things like that. Like, they really, as I get older, and I've moved around obviously into different cities, yeah, you can make some really, really cool friends. Anyway, I don't want this to sound too depressing. It's mainly for, folks like Towbie, or anyone else there that hasn't made a video like Towbie. But yeah, as you get older and social media gets more intense, there's a line in the new movie which is really funny, where Tom mentions about someone spending too much time on the internet. It was literally my favorite line in the whole movie. I don't want to tell you the situation that he says it, but he says, "You've been spending too much time on the internet." And that was the fun. There was a lot of times I laughed out loud at the new Mission Impossible, but that time, yeah, I really laughed out loud because, yeah, that's one thing that I was doing myself. So yeah, it's a great movie. All right, well look, enough me jabbering on. Towbie, hit us up anytime, please. Towbie, come bring a friend and come do plat landing with us on a TRAPZ video. Because you're a really good dude, and we really enjoy your videos. I know Barney was the guy that discovered you for the squadron, Towbie, and linked us to your channel. So yeah, we're big fans of your channel. And yeah, so well, this is the USS Abraham Lincoln, or my version of it. And like I said, I've just finished doing all the detail around the edges, and I've just painted it. So now, well, hopefully we can pull this off and not lose, and I'll be able to show you the flight deck, hopefully. So this is just a masking on top. And anyone that's built models before will recognize this tape. This is the Tamiya yellow masking tape, and I've just got some blue blanking paper. I really hope I put this video up because this is quite nerdy. And one of the sad things about YouTube is, you know, we don't have that many people watch regularly, but it seems like everybody from the place I work at gets these videos suggested to them. So that's always great when someone you work with who has no interest in flight sims knows about your hobby. So yeah, look at this. This looks all right. I'm just going to pull this off roughly, and whatever happens underneath, we'll see. So obviously I'll have to go around and do some detail painting. But yeah, this is looking pretty cool. So yeah, Mission Impossible. Yeah, go see it. It's really, really amazing. I mean, Tom Cruise is just the best. Like Top Gun Maverick. We were going to do a movie review of Top Gun Maverick when it came out, because that was just an incredible movie. And here's a confession for you. I knew that it would be one of the last times I would be truly happy at a cinema. So I saw it in the cinemas 11 times. Yes, paid full price, and saw it 11 times in the cinemas. So and it was awesome every time. Like, I just love that film so much. So yeah, more of those. It's but yeah, Mission Impossible, it's not as good as Top Gun Maverick, but it's pretty amazing. Yeah, and the dogfight at the end, well, I've lost a little bit of paint there. Okay. So I've masked here. This is the little deck control, catapult control station that pops up in the flight deck in between cats 1 and 2. All right. Okay, there we go. So I'll tip this over. This is literally, I mean, if you're worried we don't make interesting videos, this is Danger in Dubai. This is a scene where X-Men accidentally unleashes a JDAM, and Kirk is there in disguise. Sorry, I'm just going to watch this bit. So as Kirk informed me, he's actually torn some eyebrow off there. This was years ago, but the poor guy, he had that disguise on with the big hairy eyebrows, and when he ripped it off, he sent me a photo. He lost a fair bit of his eyebrow. But I caught up with him, actually went to where he lives in the US last year, and his eyebrows have grown back, and he's just the best dude. All right, so here we go. This is the flight deck. Let me see if I can tilt this over without breaking anything. It feels like every time I touch something, I break something. So yeah, you can see I've painted the flight deck there. This has been, like I said, a few years in work, in progress. So I've got to pull off all the stuff around the side here. I'll do that for you now because it looks pretty cool. Let me, oh. This could be one of those ASMR videos that, you know, where people record sounds of things. Yeah, tape getting peeled off. I'm going to copyright that though. This is tape getting peeled off of a 1/350 scale aircraft carrier this is. So if anyone wants to know, this is the Trumpeter Nimitz carrier. And wouldn't you know it, just a few months ago, I might try and put a screenshot of it, but they released a new model, and it's of the Gerald Ford, which is a cool looking boat, but I really like these old ones because these ones are the ones, you know, from Top Gun and the ones that were around, you know, while I was growing up, still growing up. And yeah, but they've just, so if you do want to build one, I mean, it's a lot of work, but this is one of those things where you don't let perfection be the enemy of good enough. You kind of have to cut your losses. So there's a big box of parts upstairs where you kind of look at it and you go, okay, if I spend a few hours putting all that together, how much value does it actually add to the overall model? And unless it's something astounding, it's still in the box. So I kind of look at it from the point of view, as long as I do a really good job on all the aeroplanes, that's the Australian term, sorry, airplanes, as long as I build a lot of aircraft for the flight deck and make them look really cool, I don't think anyone's gonna be looking at how many lifeboats there are. I mean, all the lifeboats are on, but yeah, there are certain things. So yeah, it's pretty funny to have a box full of parts left over. I might have to touch up the waterline. The paint didn't really match there, did it? Anyway, we'll see how that goes. I'll give it a sand. I could be just, I put gloss on some of it, so that might be it. All right, so that's, obviously you can see the waterline. The black line is called the boot, I believe. And then all of the red is anti-fouling. So I think there's a lot of, so that anti-fouling paint is quite toxic and it's stopped things growing on the hull. But you know, it's been years since I've been around maritime stuff much. I used to work on fishing boats, but I believe nowadays they're going away from that to more environmental coatings, more advanced coatings. Just to give you an idea of scale, this is an F-14 in 1/350 scale. So going back to the model, yeah, it's a Trumpeter 1/350 Nimitz, so it's about 1 meter long. I'm not sure how long that is, about 2 inches. And yeah, I'm gonna have, the JBDs are up on catapult number 1, so I was thinking of having F-14 there. The island, this is the island. So it's not finished, but that sits roughly here. And then this is the aft radar mast. These things are probably the thing that gets changed the most. This is a bit of an old version, but I just think it looks cool. So in the photo etch set I got, there was numerous of them. And then there's one in the kit, but I think that'll look cool. And then there's like a lot of little photo etch radars to build, which will happen soon. Yeah, but what I'd like to have, obviously I want to have the LSO platform up and running, have, you know, an F-18 coming into land, and then I want to park the Stingers F-18s. I want to build models of each of us and have them all parked around the patio, I think it's called, this area here. And yeah, it's probably going to take me another couple of years, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And like I said, it's very relaxing and it's constructive. So at the end of the day, you've got something to show for all your hours of work. So yeah. Anyway, this is probably not going to be uploaded because it might be too embarrassing. But if it is, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to be back. So I don't know if I mentioned that Meta are working on an update to fix the Quest headset. So I'm hoping it's by next week. But Bosco, obviously Doogie's got the best trap average, but Bosco's miles ahead on the top hook board. So I don't know if I can catch him now. And I'm not sure our new grading system, as you can see, there's a sea of red and orange, and I've actually had to start repainting some of the green and yellow tokens to red and orange because we've had a rough year. But we'll get back into it. All right, so Towbie, this video is dedicated to you, brother. So feel free to reach out anytime you want for a chat. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. And to the rest of you, yeah, we'll be back. Ciao.